one of the best back condoms.
What is going on, everybody? And I am extremely excited to bring you episode 1 of Madden 22 Saints franchise. Now, if some of you watched my channel before and like, what happened to the other series? Well, I don't want to do it anymore. Plain and simple as that. I felt more obligated to do it. I was very unmotivated. It was just a rough patch in my life at that time, and so I wanted to be able to bring it to you when I felt as enthusiastic as you guys were to watch it, because that sort of plays off of each other. If I'm enthusiastic while playing it and having a good time with it, then you guys will be as well. So that's why I'm restarting. And for some reason, EA, one of the other reasons I've been waiting so long is because I was waiting for EA to bring, like, the new updates they do every week. And so I wanted to wait for the week 18 update, but they haven't updated it since week 15. I don't know why they stopped doing that, if they stopped doing that. If any of you guys have trouble with that, let me know, because it could just be my PS4 or something. But what I went ahead and did, so I went to schedule and I forced the wins from week 15 to now, for every week for every team, so that way the playoff bracket would be accurate, and the draft order pre-playoffs will be accurate as well, because that's where I'm at while recording this. Pre-playoffs, I think first wildcard game is tomorrow, but as you can see here, I believe all the playoffs are or the playoff schedule is exactly how it is in real life. I believe the Titans had the first seed, if I'm correct. So, yeah, it should be as close to real life as possible, because this is going to be definitely a more realistic franchise. So, let's go over to adjust lineup and show you guys what I want to do. So I have the updated draft roster. I actually paid for them from the MonkeyMan23 on IG. I would highly recommend it. It's like $9, but it's extremely worth it if you have a channel or if you just want updated rosters. So this is where the team at right now. Obviously, this team has been fucked by injuries. And I mean fucked sideways. No consent, just straight in raw at the ATM. Anyways, no more rape jokes. Let's go over to the defense side of the ball. The defense is definitely not as much as a concern right now. However, we're going to have some cap casualties. Bradley Roby's going to be one of them. He's going to regress. And he's taking up $10 million. If we want to re-sign a guy like Marcus Williams, we won't be able to keep Bradley Roby. Now, Paulson Adebo is definitely better than a 72 overall normal in real life. But since I want to keep this close to real life, I want to see what he's got. And we're also going to move Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to his actual position, which is a slot cornerback. So, if you can't tell right now, yeah, like I said, we simmed to the playoffs, and we're not in the playoffs. We just missed. And it's highly impressive. Maybe a little bit biased here since I am a Saints fan. It's highly impressive that this team even managed to go 9-8 with the amount of injuries that we had over the year, especially at the wide receiving core. I don't even want to talk about it. Now, here's the thing. Wide receiver is not going to be my biggest priority this offseason, and I'll tell you why. When Michael Thomas comes back, I believe Callaway and Harris, I want to try and re-sign Deontay Harris, 76 overall star. He's only like 24 years old. Deontay would be perfect in the slot, and we could put Callaway on the opposite side and have Michael Thomas at wide receiver 1, and I believe guys like Harris and Callaway will thrive when they have a true wide receiver 1 around them. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if I want to start Callaway. If I can find a replacement for Callaway, I will. Whether in the draft and free agency, I will. But we're going to be losing guys like Teron Armstead, right? We're not going to be able to re-sign him. I can tell you that right now. At best, a franchise tag and trade, if we even have the money to franchise tag him. Would be ideal. Traquan's not going to come back. He's just never developed into what many thought he could be. It's never been a question of really the hands or, you know, jump ball ability or the ability to... It's been consistency is an issue, and his release off the line, he's just never been able to create enough separation from a defender, which is really sad because he clearly has a lot of ability and a lot of talent. He just can't utilize it because he's not really fast enough. You don't really know where to play him. He's 6'2", 210, he has good size, but he's not fast enough for the outside. And even if he was, his release off the line is terrible. And his route running isn't good enough for the slot. So, and he's in a contract year, so we're not going to be able to re-sign him anyways. Kenny Stills, don't even get me fucking started. Let's go over ahead and adjust best lineup. We do have some injured guys right now. So guys you're not going to see are like Adam Trotman, who I'm going to try to move forward with, and Andres Pete. They're on injury reserve right now in the game. But you'll see guys like Pete Warner, Kwang. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to bring back because I go up to, but he's going to only regress, and he's going to be way too expensive. And then Malcolm Jenkins might be another cap casualty. We'll just have to wait and see. But our main priority is going to be keeping our young guys. In real life, we locked up Marshawn Lattimore and Ryan Ramczyk to contracts already. Big contracts. So Marcus Williams really the last priority. And as far as quarterback goes, let me go ahead and I guess I'll just go ahead and simulate to the Super Bowl. This is not just going to be a rebuild. This is going to be like an actual franchise series. In case you're wondering, I'm just picking up from the end of this season. The Packers and Bengals in the Super Bowl. That's actually a very likely matchup. And let's go over to scout college players. It's just so I can show you guys the players we're dealing with. It's the real life prospects, obviously. And I believe we're going to pick at 18. So, what I was saying about the quarterback position. I want to re-sign Jameis Winston if we can. And obviously not just because, you know, it's like Hall of Fame, it's Jameis, whatever. I wouldn't want to do that if I thought that, you know, if it was purely a cap reason. Even though the only reason we wouldn't re-sign him is because of our cap. However, our options are either Taysom Hill or drafting a quarterback, right? And why would we spend a draft pick on a quarterback when we're not going to have a left tackle anymore? We need more depth at D-line. We really need a defensive tackle. And even wide receiver. I mean, you're going to have guys like Jameson Williams, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. This was made before Jameson Williams got injured, so we don't know where his draft stock will be. But it's like, okay, we could re-sign Jameis, who's still only about 28. And he does have normal 76 overall. However, that can be changed in a year. He can get up to star. And if we could get him to like a 2 or 3 year contract, that'd be perfect. And we'll see how he progresses from there. Or we could spend the first rounder on a guy who might work out. You know, like Malik Willis or Matt Corral. But as of right now, when Kenny Pickett is the best graded quarterback in the draft, I'm just not too interested. Obviously, we could get a guy in the later round, you know, just in case, like Carson Strong. He'll definitely be a target, or Sam Howell, depending on how they fall in the draft. Tight end is something I would love to address. However, I don't think we're going to find any room to do so in the offseason. I think Adam Trotman is fine for right now. We'll just have to see how he progresses next year. Linebacker, the Saints in our defensive scheme mainly run 2 linebackers. And I am good with Demario Davis and Pete Werner, although it will be good to get some depth there. And I may even move to a 3-4, depending on how our D linemen and linebackers looking and everything. And strong safety is also going to be a need because we're probably not going to keep Malcolm Jenkins around. So we'll definitely look into that. And if for some reason we can't re-sign Marcus Williams, that might not even be a need. So this team is definitely not in a... It's not in a bad spot, but it definitely has some rebuild potential. Even if we can't end up keeping Mark Ingram, I mean, maybe in the later round, a guy like Brian Robinson, another Alabama sort of Mark Ingram-like back in the way he runs and his power and things like that. So we have a lot of things to consider, and I'm extremely excited to get into it. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So as it sits right now, we are at negative 23 mil in the cap, or in the dead money. In real life, it's going to be a lot worse than that, but it's just how Madden cap works. And that actually changed to a 11.9 mil, or negative 11.9 mil, so that's good. We'll take a look at the season recap. It looks like the Bengals have won the Super Bowl. I believe that might be their first one. So Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, make a lot of LSU fans happy. MVP was Tom Brady. Coach of the Year was Mike McCarthy. Tom Brady get Boza. Najee Harris won Offensive Rookie of the Year. That was for the AFC. I'm sure for NFC it was I'm surprised Najee won over Jamar Chase, but also remember that the stats didn't get updated correctly from Week 15 to Week 18. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Micah Parsons. Joe Burrow was your Super Bowl MVP. So, a dream year for the Cincinnati Bengals. And as they beat Rodgers and Adams on their last drive. Oh boy. And so we're going to go ahead and skip to the re-sign period. Alright. So, before anything, we'll make sure that no one actually retired. I can take a look at the mock draft too, but not too focused on that right now. So we had no one retire as far as around the league. Josh Norman, should have happened a long time ago, sorry. Trent Williams, I guess after getting like an 8-year contract, he was just like, fuck it. Emmanuel Sanders, former Saint, came at the wrong time. Love the dude. Brandon Graham, Devin McCourty, Deshaun Jackson, so some Andrew Whitworth, Richie Incognito, so definitely some Hall of Famers, including Chad Henne, surefire Hall of Famer. Jimmy Smith, I remember how good Jimmy Smith was before injuries. Antonio Brown retires as a Bear. Wow. No comment. And yeah. So those are your retirements. No Brady retirement. Unfortunately, that's fine. Stay old, regress, so we can fucking kill you. And so players ready to negotiate. I'll show you guys exactly who is on contract or who is expiring this year. Possibly the biggest, Teron Armstead, but we're going to have to go ahead and sort of accept that even if we do get to franchise tag him, we're just going to have to trade him in general, or just let him walk. Either way, it's not going to be ideal. Marcus Williams, we definitely want to try and re-sign. Quan Alexander does have star. Here's the problem. I go up to re-sign him, but for some reason, EA, due to their mental incapacity to do a single fucking thing right, has it where outside linebackers get paid like edge rushers, and so it's really annoying. So the main guys I want to try and resign, we're not going to be able to resign Jameis yet. We'll have to wait till he hits free agency. Deontay Harris, I want to try and resign. And the rest, Shad Tuggle, we might try to get back in free agency. Carl Grangerson, we might try and get back in free agency. Just for depth, but right now, main focus until free agency actually starts is Marcus Williams and Deontay. Because if we don't sign them now, they will definitely get signed by someone else. So, what we have to do in order to make this happen is we're going to make it some decisions. Decisions like deciding to cut some guys who have contributed to the team very well. Bradley Roby, unfortunately, we traded a third-round pick for him. He hasn't been bad, but kind of gotten outplayed by Paulson and Debo. And he's taking up $10 million, and we could wait to trade him, but we wouldn't be able to re-sign anyone right now. And honestly, we wouldn't be able to get that much anyways. So Bradley Roby, thank you for your service. Now, no. Potential trade candidates, Marcus Davenport or David Onyemata. However, I don't want to trade both of them. I really don't want to trade either of them. I want to try and keep that intact. So that's sort of a last resort. And Malcolm Jenkins, thank you for your service, but you are washed as fuck. And so therefore, you're going to have to get cut. So, another guy, some other guys just to make some room will be Tano Capasa, goodbye. And Nick Vanette. Thank you, Nick. However, just taking up the money that we need right now. So it's a tough situation because you really can't clear up much cap besides that without having a pretty bad impact on the team. Mario Davis did not get superstar heads factor, unfortunately. So he regressed a little bit. Speaking of, let me check out. So we have $9 million in cap right now. So hopefully we'll be able to re-sign Marcus Williams and Deontay Harris. As far as making room for Jameis, we'll try our best, but we're not going to decimate the team. And did anyone get any development trade upgrades? No? Alright, so that actually took away Michael Thomas's superstar X factor, which sucks. But like, I get it from their point of view because, you know, he hasn't played in a while, and it would make sense for him to regress a little bit in real life just because of the ankle injury. So it makes sense. I'm not going to complain too much about it. Just sucks because he's about 28 now, 29 or something. I believe he's that old, but anyways, as I was saying, first priority, re-signing Marcus Williams. A 5-year deal worth $35 million, and Marcus Williams will be staying. That is very good news for us, because if not, we would have had to get 2 new safeties, or just move Siggy back. Siggy being Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Ooh. Deontay Harris, we might not be able to bring back. That is highly unfortunate. Oh man. However, I know one guy we can cut. I just didn't think it'd be that realistic because he actually just made first team All-Pro at special teams right now, and that's JT Gray. In real life, this wouldn't happen just because special teamers mean a lot more coaches than they do in this game. However, he's only 62 overall. He's not gonna provide anything. So JT Gray, I'm sorry, great special teamer, but captain actually, but you just gotta go if we want to get Deontay back. So let's go and try and re-sign Deontay Harris. If we did that and he doesn't re-sign, I might kill myself because I really love JT Gray. He holds a special place in my heart. The Saints every year have that one special team guy that everyone just kind of treats like this special ed kid, and they're just like, oh, what? No, that's so mean. I didn't. Anyways, so Deontay, I think 2-year deal, 9.2 mil is perfect, and yes. So we got Deontay. Unfortunately, tagging Teron Armstead is just not going to happen. And Jameis, we're going to really have to try and make some room to re-sign him. But I think it would definitely be worth it because I already explained, you know, about the rookie quarterbacks and everything like that. So, yeah, we're going ahead and simulating. So after the waltz, the free agent waltz, we have 8.67 mil left in cap, or 8.67, $8,670,000 million left. So let's look at some of the free agents. So Devontae Adams really was his last try. He said, "Fuck this poverty Packers organization." I agree. There's always been this odd beef with Packers and Saints fans. I guess just because they've both been at the top of the NFC for so long, but neither has been able to actually get to a Super Bowl in like the last 10 years. So it's kind of like the Spider-Man pointing at each other. Now, guys, I would love to get would be someone like Ronnie Harrison. Pair him up with Marcus Williams. Have two young safeties back there. Obviously, though, that's kind of a dream because it would cause us to have a bit of a problem in cap. But like I said, main priority right now is Jameis Winston. We could always get Colin Kaepernick. I'm sure that would be a very favorite decision by a lot of viewers. So here's what Jameis wants. The problem is that we won't be able to give him a 3-year deal. We can give him 2-year deal worth 16.6 mil. And hope to God he signs. It's in the orange, it's not in the red, so. But that's about the best we can do, Jameis. I mean, that's going to take up about 8 mil in cap and leave nothing. So here's what I'm thinking, okay? We need some more draft picks, and we need some more cap space. Because as you can see, we're in a weird spot on our roster. But the only tradable options really are two guys on our D-line, but our D-line is so... It's not weak, I can tell you that. It's not weak, but it's so... There's no depth after, you know, David Onyemata, Marcus Davenport, Cameron Jordan. There's just really no one to hold it down, so to speak. So, Marcus Davenport would make a lot of sense to trade because his contract, I believe, is going to be expiring, and he's taking up 10 mil in cap room. And we drafted Peyton Turner last year, I believe, pretty much for that reason. But David Onyemata's contract is expiring too, and he's 29 years old. However, we have like no D linemen. So I think the biggest or best trade would be to trade Marcus Davenport. We could also look to trade Andres Pete. However, it would have a penalty of 7.8 and would only free up 5 mil. So as much as I would love to, we just probably won't be able to. So our biggest thing right now, or our best bet, would definitely be trading Marcus Davenport. Potentially, maybe even for a late first. I don't know if we'll get that, but I mean, we basically traded 2 first rounders for him. He is very good. He just has had injury problems, to put it lightly, honestly. So, what if we got, what would it take to get this first round pick from the Chiefs? Oof. Okay. It wouldn't work out too good. Would not work out too good. What if we threw in... Actually, what they got going on at safety over there? That's strong safety. I know it's Tyrann Mathieu. So I don't really even know why I asked that. However, who would be a good trade partner? Okay. Xavier McKinney has superstar development. We could definitely move him over to strong safety. It says he's free. I think he's definitely more strong safety type. But you look at the Giants cap room, that would still leave him at 90K. So, I don't know, maybe just throw in someone they don't care about and a second round pick. I just want to see where this would actually get us. Or how close this would be. Okay, not at all. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Would they give us the first pick in the second round and maybe like a fourth? That's close. Okay. I don't want to throw in any of our draft picks just because we don't really have like enough. I mean, we have a decent amount, but just not to like fill the holes on this roster, if that made sense. So what about just straight up for the second? Perfect. All right, so Marcus Davenport for the first overall pick in the second round. That was probably about the best we could get, and without having to throw in any draft picks, any players, anything like that. So I think that's going to be about the only trade we make right now. And like I said, this will give us some... I'll show you our draft picks. This will give us some room to be able to sign some of these other guys that we want. Like maybe Ronnie Harrison, maybe even a wide receiver. So now we have 18.2 million cap, but I think mainly we're going to focus on depth. We're going to be smart about this. We're not going to sign any long terms. But now, that kind of fills the gap for not having a third round pick. So we pick a number 16. That was number 18. I'm looking at the draft order we got. Either way, not complaining. 16. Then we have the first pick in the second round. We have the second round pick pick 48. And then we have 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, so we're good. We have 7 draft picks, and I think that could be perfect to fill up some holes in this roster, because right now we kind of just need to focus on being able to have enough guys to actually fill the roster. Because we're just not in a good spot, and I don't think holding on to Marcus Davenport would have really been worth that. So... let's see. Let's look at defensive tackle real quick. Shy Tuttle. Like I said, just getting some depth back. Sign him to like a 2-year deal worth 4.7 mil. There we go. You guys may be wondering or saying, hey, cut Taysom Hill. I wish I could, however, it just wouldn't be able to happen because it would just cause way too much of a penalty. And then Carl Granderson as well. We're going to get back. So, try to get him on as cheap as possible. Like a longer term deal. And if you look at the wide receivers, it really sucks that we might not have the cap to sign one right now. Because there's just a lot of good ones. However, there are a lot of good wide receivers in the draft. But like, I would love to have a guy like Christian Kirk or Henry Ruggs, I feel like he could really provide us a lot of speed. You know, but even if we want to sign a guy like DJ Chark, you're looking at just a 3-year, $21 million deal, and it's like, I would love to have a guy like DJ Chark, but it just wouldn't be smart. Wouldn't be smart at all. And so we need to focus on guys that we can absolutely, you know, count on to step up when someone's injured, as we saw this year. Right now, as you can see, I'm looking for a guy who we could put over at left outside linebacker just to fill that run stopper need, or that scheme. Someone cheap, but actually first, let me just go over and see how much Ronnie Harrison would be. Not too expensive. We won't have that much cap left, but we're not going to have that much cap left anyways. And that will give us room to sign at least one more guy. Going to be using up pretty much all the cap here that we can, but what other choice do we really have? So, this will also prevent us from having to fill the safety spot in the draft. If we can hopefully steal him away from the Bucks. Like I said, could get like a Band-Aid guy, like actually Jordan Whitehead. I mean, if the Bucks want Ronnie Harrison, we can just take. He's only got normal dev, 67 tackle. He's got 89 hit power. We could snag Jordan Whitehead for cheap. I mean, that's nothing. That's like no money. That's what we're going to do. 4-year deal, 10 mil. You're kind of getting robbed, my man. If you're going to be starting at strong safety. I would obviously love to find someone better. But just not going to happen. I would sign a fullback. However, I believe I want to move Taysom there maybe. No. That wouldn't be realistic at all. This may be a bit unpopular, but I promise you, when you're running in this game, fullbacks matter, and they matter a lot. Especially in, it depends on your offensive scheme, but how the Saints run, they matter. And right now we're, excuse me. Right now we're just hoping that, what the hell? One sec. Losing my voice a little bit, but that is okay. The show must go on. So we're going to go ahead and advance the week. We spent quite a while on just that free agency one, or the first free agency period, but that's pretty much all we're going to be able to do as far as free agency is concerned. So we got Jordan Whitehead, we got Patrick Ricard. Has anyone else offered on Jameis? No one else has offered on Jameis. The Bucks want Carl Granderson? Fuck off, guys. You know what? Y'all can have him, because this way we're going to be able to put maybe some more money into Jameis. Oh yeah, I forgot that would. We're going to take that money out on Jameis, and we're going to go back and we're going to put it on there again. Oh, we actually have the cap room to make that 3-year, $30 million deal. That would be giving him 10 a year. But honestly, if we can pay Marcus Williams 10 mil a year to... No, we didn't pay him 10 mil a year. I'm going crazy. We'll pay him 10 mil for 1 year. But he's our quarterback. It's the most important position on the team, arguably. So $9 million cap room to have a guy who knows the system and can come in right away. We don't got, to really worry about. He is coming off that ACL tear. We'll see how that impacts him. However, if you look at his stats, his accuracy, it's all good. He's better than probably most rookies in this draft class would be right now. While he might not have any development or anything, we know Jameis Winston can do good in this offense. And so just having that, any other team building you can do, as we've seen in the past, means nothing if you don't have a quarterback. And Jameis was playing great last season before his ACL tear. He was having MVP numbers. I mean, it was crazy. So, that being said, we are going to advance to stage 3. And we got Jameis Winston back. So Jameis Winston is coming back. He is staying in New Orleans. He's not going anywhere. Let's make sure none of our signings took that number 2 from him. I will be very upset. So, nope. Still number 2. So not an extremely eventful free agency, and that's just how it's been with, cap and everything. But you can see now a bit of the updated offense. So our biggest needs, Michael Thomas comes back. That wide receiver core is going to be a lot better. However, we're definitely going to need some depth at wide receiver. So we'll definitely be drafting one. What round, I don't know. But you see guys like James Hurst. We need a new left tackle. We need a new defensive tackle. Peyton Turner, I would say we need a new edge rusher. We just need edge rusher depth. He's only 71 overall. So I don't know how good he's going to be in this game or how he's going to develop for us. But if we draft him in the first round, we got to at least see for a year. We're going to need left outside linebacker. Pete Werner's going to stay at right outside linebacker. And some corner depth. So biggest needs, tackle, linebacker, wide receiver, defensive tackle, stuff like that. And yeah, Mark Ingram's regressing and we could cut him, but we love the locker room presence he brings, and he's a decent power back to have right now to complement Ingram. And we're going to keep him for another year because if we released him, it can only free up $2.3 million cap, and who would we even get with that, And it prevents us from having to draft the backup running back. We need some tight end depth. Depth. Fucking can't say that word. But that's really all we're looking for in this draft is just more depth. More guys to step up if guys get injured, like we saw last year, because Sean Payton can make the best or make it work with what he has, but he's one man. He can't do it all. So that's what we're going to try and do. I guess I say Sean Payton. I mean, he is the coach. I guess I would say I'm the coach, but no, I'm simply a third observer. I'm simply a god of this Madden universe that I've created. They are all under my control and have no idea. They exist because I allow it. So, let's simulate to stage 4. We're not going to do private workouts because that's not really going to do anything because, if we would have been playing from the start of the season, that'd be different. So, from here on, oh yeah, forgot. Alright, so after some technical difficulties, aka EA being EA and kicking me out, we're going to advance to the draft. We pick a number 16 and I believe 23. A return from injury. I don't know who. No, I didn't want to go here. I guess it was Michael Thomas. So Michael Thomas is officially back in our lineup, which is very nice. Let's go ahead and start the NFL draft. And we're not going to trade up or anything. We're just going to keep everything we have. So I guess we can sim pick by pick. I guess it's just not going to show us. So I'm playing on PS4, so I'm sure it has more bugs than, you know. Oh wait, no, we picked first in the second round. I forgot. So Garrett Wilson is still here, which is very interesting. Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa. This is an interesting choice. Fedarian Mathis, the defensive tackle out of Alabama. And then Nicholas Petit-Frere, the right tackle out of Ohio State. Out of the Ohio State. Huh. What about at safety? Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State is there. Our best move would be Trevor Penning. However, I don't know if we can pass up on a guy like Garrett Wilson. I mean, yeah, there are some wide receivers down the board. However, we do need some more D-line depth. I don't know. I don't know. This is a hard choice. I will tell you that. Alright, we're going to take Garrett Wilson here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to see which tackle goes first. And then we're going to trade up and get the other tackle. So, Garrett Wilson, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Hidden development, 92 speed, 90 change of direction. Again, I'm jumping. That's what we know about him so far. So we'll be pairing up Michael Thomas with Garrett Wilson. It'll be interesting to see if he starts right away over Marquez Callaway. That was some bars. Now we can actually see the pits here. And like I said, we're just waiting and see which tackle goes first. So whether it's Trevor Penning or Nicholas Petit-Frere. Jaquan Brisker goes, I believe, to the Colts. Okay, so Nicholas Petit-Frere goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't want to trade up with a division rival, so... And the Buccaneers take Kenny Pickett. Wow. Okay. So they have a nice little replacement there after Brady. I can't believe he fell this far. So we definitely could have picked the quarterback. However, like I said, none of them just really intrigued me. So do we trade up for Trevor Penning now? Do we wait it out? I think we're going to take the risk and wait it out. I don't think he's going to be amazing. So if he's there at... The thing is he going to be that much better than James Hurst? And Matt Corral goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Breece Hall goes to the Miami Dolphins. Kenyon Green to the Green Bay Packers. One more pick until us. And the Bengals take Trevor Penning. Alright. That's not great. What's still left then? Malik Willis. Fedarian Mathis out of Alabama is still there. We'll get some edge rushers as well. What tackles are still there? Just no one of real interest, if I'm being quite honest. So you know what? I think we're going to take Fedarian Mathis out of Alabama. We need some defensive line depth. He's a run stopper. He fit our scheme perfectly. He only has normal development. However, I do really like this pick. He's like 6'6", 312. Could be a good nose tackle for us. Christian Harris goes to the Lions. We're going to go ahead and advance to our pick. So... we might not be in the best position at left tackle right now, which really sucks. However, it is what it is. That's all I can really say about that. 6'9", 380. He's got a impact block. Daniel Fallier? Out of Minnesota. There's also Darian Kennard out of Kentucky. We could always move Andres Peak over to left tackle and draft a guard right now. Center like a guy like Garrett Patterson. Move him over to guard. And move Andres Peak over to left tackle. Which was Andres Peak's position in college, actually. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to draft Garrett Patterson. He's got hidden development, 87 strength, good speed for an offensive lineman. So may not be the most popular pick. This draft may not be the most popular. But honestly, we're just getting what we need right now. Garrett Wilson was there. We couldn't pass up on him. It may have messed up our plans a little bit. But how do you pass up on a guy like that? You can't. You can't. Simple as that. So, nickel linebacker. Guy like Aaron Hansford, maybe. Who are the best guys available right now? Could definitely use another safety. Jair Brown, maybe. But we also need another edge rusher. Guy like Michael Clemens out of Texas A&M. Could be a really good value pick here. Actually, no, we don't have a backup tight end. Not really. And I really like, no pun intended, Isaiah Likely out of Texas A&M. So we're going to draft him. He's only got normal depth, but he has 87 speed. He could be competing for the tight end 1 spot immediately, depending on his overall or where he compares to Adam Trotman. So I really like that pick there. And we still need some more D linemen. Guy like Trey Williams or LeBron Ray, pair him up with his former Bama teammate. What about you? Josh Pascal. Or a left outside linebacker, of course. We do really need one of those. We need a guy who's definitely more of a run stopper, who's not 3-4. So Brian Asamoah, he has A tackling. Very undersized for the position. But you know what? We're going to take him. 85 speed. He's got normal development. But I think this has been a good draft as far as, you know, guys who can come in and develop immediately. Or start immediately, while guys who are, you know, more developing we could definitely use another corner. We could definitely use another safety. However, we just waited a bit too long for that, quite honestly. So maybe getting a guy like Savon Bates. You know, even moving them to safety. That's what we're going to take. 7 Bates, Savon, 7... no clue. Maybe change your name. Okay, Chris Paul out of Tulsa goes to the Colts. I don't know why I felt the need to point that out, but I did. So now, I guess we'll just get another wide receiver. John Ditson dropped hard, man. He was supposed to be a first-round pick. I guess we can go with him. I mean, you can't really go wrong there. 7th round pick, supposed to be a projected first to second rounder, so we got a steal right there. Digene Ditson will be the last pick of our draft. So here's how the team is going to look. We're not going to start Jarrett Patterson immediately. He does have hidden development, so we'll use him in training, get his overall up. Maybe he'll replace Pete. Pete would lower his overall by 2 at left tackle. We'll just keep the guy with experience in there. James Hurst is not going to be great. I can tell you that right now, but really the only option we have right now, and we got Garrett Wilson. We are going to have him starting over over Marquez Callaway. Deontay Harris is going to start in the slot, alongside with Michael Thomas over here. Kamara, Mark Ingram, Adam Trotman. We moved Taysom Hill over to fullback so he can be in and blocking and be more, useful for us. As far as our defense, it's looking a little rough right now. We got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the slot. That's why he's at CB3. But as far as the D-line, without Marcus Davenport, it takes a big of a hit. And we just don't have much depth at all. But we got Mario Davis, Pete Werner, Brian Asamoah starting at left outside linebacker. But honestly, besides Marcus Davenport, the defense doesn't really look different at all. It's pretty much the exact same. Malcolm Jenkins would have been the exact same overall as Jordan Whitehead. It's pretty much the exact same. So, I'll probably move Deontay Harris over to kick return. And specialist. You can see what we got here. We'll move Ingram to power back. So yeah, I like where the team is looking right now. I don't think this is going to be like a Super Bowl year. It could be. You never know. But I think we're going to have a bigger struggles. We don't have the cap to sign like any backups on the defensive line, so that might be bad. I do have Phil roster turn on, so I'm sure, that'll change some things. So before we end this episode, I'm going to use the staff points and purchase some upgrades. Things like that. I'm not going to go through the preseason in this series. I'll just do that off camera, simulate things like that. I'm going to turn off injuries through the preseason just because preseason injuries in this game are dumb and basically like kill everyone. So we're just not going to do that. Our roster's already only at 48 right now. We're doing the best we can. So we can boost release for wide receivers and then come down here and get the boost catching for wide receivers and tight ends by 5. That would be amazing. So we're going to go ahead and get an instant upgrade there. And then, boost pass blocking for tight ends by 3 could be big. And then fancy footwork again. And yeah. So, hope you guys are excited for the series. I know I am. Our first game is going to be against the Baltimore Ravens, so we'll try and stop Lamar Jackson. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like. Remember to subscribe if you're not already. And yeah, bye.